about 10 minutes later than usual, but thank you for joining us. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Amanda Hill. When it comes to protecting your home and your property, a lot of it's common sense, but sometimes criminals kind of know how to outsmart us.
Yeah, so in Skowhegan, police say that 4 cars were robbed and torched yesterday. The state fire marshal's office says it's investigating this as arson. Police were called to the Family Circle apartment complex about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Now, the Skowhegan Police Department actually posted to its Facebook page sharing tips so no one else has their property stolen or burned. Police say to always lock your doors. That's, of course, an obvious one, but also keep your schedule private. Don't post vacation or business trips to social media. If you see something, say something. And finally, be kind to your neighbors.
Now look, it's hot outside, right? So everybody opens up their windows, tries to air the house out, cool it off a little bit, but that could leave your home vulnerable, even if you're not even thinking about that.
Right. We wanted to know what other signs burglars look for when choosing a home to break into. So News Center's Chris Costa met up with a police officer to find out.
You know, I'll walk up nonchalantly.
Officer Rocco Navarro knows what burglars look for.
Knock on the door, they'll wait a couple minutes.
He's helped the people whose homes have been broken into.
They take it for granted that, well, you know, this is Maine, this stuff doesn't happen. You know, what are the odds my house is going to get broken into? So they'll try the door's locked.
It happens more often than people think.
So they'll try the window.
He says burglars try to draw as little attention as possible.
So we got another means of entry, we're going to try this.
He says the back doors and windows are a burglar's preferred targets, out of view.
The screen can just pop right off. So the daytime are so common because it looks less suspicious. Someone could look like a contractor just walking up to a house.
Police say the tips for keeping somebody from breaking into your home are pretty obvious, but also pretty simple. Shut your windows, close your blinds, and lock your door. But police say just because a burglar doesn't get inside your home doesn't mean they won't take anything.
They're looking for a quick score to grab that weed whacker and go up to a pawn shop and get 30 bucks. And they come home, all their tools are gone, lawnmower. So yeah, they locked their house up, but they forgot their garage.
And while it may be inconvenient in this hot weather,
it's worth it. You're not going to be a victim that way, and they're going to go to the next one.
All right, well, like I said, it's hot. People open their windows, and that's something that you now have to not just take for granted
Something
anymore,
to pay attention to for sure.
So relief from this heat is just about here.
Until then, though, let's make Keith sweat it out a little bit at the beach.
I do not mind this at all, guys. As you know, it is still mild here. We're at the East End Beach in Portland. Quite a few people, it looks like, you know, they're either getting out of work and heading down here. Eventually dogs can come out here after 5 as well, so a nice scene. These people are enjoying it. Not sure most of Maine is, though. Let's have a look at today's high temperatures. Officially 90 in Portland. We got to only 89 yesterday, so that means no official heat wave in Portland. But look at Sanford at 91. It was cooler up in Caribou. That cooler air mass is moving in. As you can see, temperatures getting cooler in Greenville. Slight cooling along the coastline, but still in the mid and upper 80s. The real signal behind this front coming through is the dew points. 36 for a dew point in Caribou. That is a winter dew point, and it's still relatively humid along the coastline. So that dry air will kind of collapse itself south as the night progresses. A few scattered showers have been accompanying that, but for the most part, they've been very light in nature. You can see a few there to the south and southeast of Bangor in through down East Maine. Most of us, though, will just see a wind shift and a change in air mass as we get these dew points down. You're going to like the forecast for the next couple of days. I'll have that for you in just a few minutes.
You don't want to comment?
No comment.
Well, I saw that you said on Facebook, I think it was, that you're a good mom and it'll never happen again. I just wanted to know if you.
I have no comments.
That's the woman that Skowhegan police charged after they say video shows her driving with an unrestrained toddler in the front seat of a minivan. Jennifer Bean declined to tell us her side of the story when News Center caught up with her today. The video that appears to show her on her cell phone with the toddler climbing around did spark social media outrage. News Center found out that Bean has a little history of trouble with the law. According to Somerset County court records, she was convicted of theft, Class D assault, and Class E disorderly conduct. The records also show that she violated probation back in 2012. Now, in light of the video on Facebook, Skowhegan police have charged Bean with endangering the welfare of a child. She is due to appear in court in August.
A major crimes investigation is underway in New Hampshire. Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting at the liquor and wine outlet on the southbound side of I-95. More than a dozen investigators are on the scene. The State Police Major Crimes Unit is still there. Both the store and a smashed up truck in the parking lot have crime tape around them. Law enforcement plans to hold a press conference at 7 o'clock tonight, and we will keep you posted in this developing situation throughout the evening.
All right, still to come on now. Police departments across the state will be gathering to honor a young officer killed in the line of duty. We'll be back with more after this. Officer Nathan Desjardins will be honored in a public ceremony on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Augusta Civic Center. Fundraisers have already started to help his family, including one on a national platform. Desjardins was the Freiburg officer injured in a boat crash on his way to a rescue on the Saco River. Last week, he died from those injuries at just 20 years old.
Now, as Lee mentioned, there's already a GoFundMe page set up to help his family. Now that national website dedicated to supporting police officers has stepped up. Thin Blue Line USA is selling wristbands online, claiming 100% of the proceeds will help his family. It's part of the company's Give Blue campaign, which, according to the website, in just 7 months has raised more than $100,000 for families all over the country of those killed in the line of duty. We will be right back. It's becoming increasingly popular to own chickens. Some people like them for their eggs, others for their usefulness in keeping the bugs away. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention actually has a warning for those backyard farmers. Limit your touch with live poultry. Dr. Dora Ann Mills of the University of New England used to head up Maine's CDC. Thank you so much for coming in and answering some of these questions. So what is sort of the danger in touching these live chickens?
Well, you know, it's actually not the touching. The touching is okay. And we all love to take little chicks and, you know, and play with them. But the main thing is to wash your hands afterwards. You know, so what we've seen in the last few weeks is a major multi-state outbreak of salmonella, including at least one case here in Maine, and about a third of them have been hospitalized. So salmonella is a bacteria that can be very harmful, particularly to young children and the elderly and anybody with a compromised immune system. And those of us who don't fit in those categories can actually contract it and get sick and transmit it to others. So, it's very common to find salmonella in live poultry and as well as eggs, inside the egg and the egg shells. So the main thing is if you're touching birds or eggs or even the inside of eggs, make sure that the eggs are cooked and wash your hands if you're touching raw eggs or poultry. And pretty much that goes for any type of animal. You know, even with humans, we don't play around with our secretions from other people, right? And so whether it's excrement, stool, urine, saliva, not to be too gross if people are eating dinner, but you know, anytime you come in contact with secretions or something that's produced by somebody else's body, those can transmit harmful bacteria and viruses. So that goes to for people, other people, but also for dogs, cats, birds, and turtles, any type of animal that you're commonly touching. It's fine, but just wash your hands afterwards. So I love, for instance, going to the agricultural farms. It's great, go to the petting zoos, but wash your hands afterwards.
That's the main thing. Watch the kids, make sure they're washing their hands.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks for explaining it for us very quickly.
Thank you.
Lee.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Keith is not too chicken to head outside and see what it's like out there. How hot is it, Casey?
It's a little mild. We got ourselves an ice cream cone. I'm so glad that we were talking about secretions and excrement during that whole process, but it's about 85, 86 here, not too bad. Let's have a look at the dew points. That's the key. Dew points are coming down through the rest of tonight, and it's going to go from hot to comfortable for most of Maine. Look at Caribou's dew point, 36. That is a January dew point, not one you see in June. So that dry air driving its way to the south. For most of us, the front doesn't have much in the way of precipitation. You can see that it has sagged down across southern Maine with a few showers southeast of Bangor. Most of us, though, a few clouds, wind shift, and then that cooler air coming on in. That's the biggest thing that's going to happen with this front. And I think for a lot of Maine, that is going to be a welcome change for them. Dew point tracker showing that dry air coming down. If anything, it's underestimating just how dry it is. Having us in the 40s and 30s, though, by tomorrow morning, it is going to be downright crisp. It's one of those days that when it happens in the fall, everyone gets excited and they really enjoy that kind of weather. I think a lot of people are going to feel that way about this as well. Let me quickly run your predictive radar for you as well, but watch what happens through tomorrow and Thursday. Nada. sunny both days, start to finish. We introduce a chance of showers as we head into Friday. That looks like a good chance of showers for most of us. Isolated stuff over the weekend, and then back to dry conditions on Tuesday. So your weekend doesn't look bad. It's hard to put a finger on it because it looks like there will be some showers around on Saturday, afternoon thunderstorms on Father's Day, but it's not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. So just be aware that there will be some showers and storms around, but it does not look like a bad weekend. We'll time that for you a little bit more closely when we get closer to the weekend. After that, sneaky warm on Monday, a little bit of a return, guys, to the humidity for Monday, but I don't see anything that has us in the 90s next week.
Yeah, you go ahead and eat that ice
rude.
cream. I know, whatever. We'll be back. Jeez.
We may never know what Covfefe means, but it is now an acronym, believe it or not. Last month, the president tweeted, quote, "Despite the constant negative press, Covfefe." Now, that typo generated a lot of internet humor, including from the president himself. But now a congressman has proposed the Communications over Various Feeds Electronically for Engagement Act, or for short, Covfefe Act. It would legally mandate that the president's tweets be preserved for history, even those tweets that were later deleted. The White House has already pledged to preserve all of the president's tweets. Oh, by the way.
All right, this is kind of a local boy done good story. 2016, a huge year for the Chainsmokers. Drew Taggart, born in Portland, graduated from Freeport High School, one half of the electric dance duo. They won a Grammy last year, and now they have been named one of the highest earning entertainers by Forbes magazine. $38 million last year, tied for 65th. And Drew Taggart's mom was my Spanish teacher at Deering.
Oh, well done. Well done to the local boy. News Center at 5:30 starts right now.